Ember approached the forlorn, but they said, I don't want to be helped. Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The Ember approached the forlorn. They said, I don't want to be helped. Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Do you know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh. The two travelers. Yeah, I got so... Why go anywhere else if it's safe here? Yeah, never have to... The birds scare me though. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. The guard was protecting a path down between the rocks. Nothing down there but sadness and turning for... Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. The Forest King showed me the way. You'll see there's no need to keep going. He'll make a bird of you. Go get your feathers. The CROSSROAD gate was locked. The guard showed, and with a bag, both guards started looking at Ember with the guard leered. Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that. We guard the door to the forest. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to. The giant bird spoke softly. Do not fear. The bird is if Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little Ember, birds will take another under our... Stay safe in the nest, you'll never... Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See? Night birds will make the world less frightened. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay?
Hope is false. Hope hurts little ones in the end.
The Forest King spoke. Perhaps they could rest here for a while. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little, you will stay. You will not turn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather means Ember is one of us now. Birds keep little ones. Birds should never leave the nest.
The guards seem pleased. I can hold that. Leave him alone. They're one. Yeah, one of us. And we all share bags and things.
The travelers had disappeared. Their campfire and bear tracks lay in the cinders.
The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. Nothing down there, but go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight.
Got your first feather, I see.
Best prove yourself, Scruff. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass.
Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. This forlorn was not the same as the others. The forlorn whispered softly, I know what I need. I may never be ready. The future is yours, but mine is mine. Ember left the forlorn with death. The time wasn't right, perhaps would never be.
Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened. The birds crew. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on.
Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? The traveler seemed distressed. But it's been a while since. It's my fault. The traveler whispered quietly, no matter where I go, always here. It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route.
It was the same place as before. But how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Gradually, more of the map was revealed. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The strangers, they said something, and now I'm lost. And it's too late.
The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The statue spoke. The instrument you now hold has the power to another before you took great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We worked together. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. There was one last place to reach on the map. A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell.
Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. The way through was ruined, muffled by the fog. Ember wished, could that have been the tremendous snow? Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. A sleeping pig trotted. They looked happy. The plant looked like it could take a hand off. And it was in Ember's way. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. The plant looked like it could take a hand off, and it was in Ember's way. Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy. A hideous odor filled the air. And suddenly, the reason was obvious. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. I trace the map in my head, recite the older myths. I have to move on. Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the cook's pot I meet another. They are on their own path, but we promise to meet again. The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it.
The stranger had come so very far. They felt the air beneath them, the distance ever widening. It was such a long way down. A resolve stirred within the stranger. Just a few more steps. It can't be much further. Inside was a scrap of journal. In the orchard, I meet the stranger from the cook's fire. A stranger no longer. Together we fill their satchel. Food and memories for the road ahead. The stranger puzzled over their journey. Some steps felt effortless. They twisted by unseen. Gratefully, the stranger said, "Friend, thank you. We all help each other along the path." The stranger said magical sound.
Let me tell you, I plays a good lanthorn.
The Wanderer's Diary. An ancient throne sits empty. No one remains to guide or protect, but we do not mind. My companion shelters with me now. We cannot help those left behind. The orchard gate was locked and needed a key. It was worth trying, but it didn't fit in the lock. Through the mist, Ember could feel they were being watched. Ember found the Wanderer's Diary. We stop by the warmth of another campfire. The guardian spirit provokes us, asks what we hope to resolve. I do not understand.
Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. It looked long cold, but ready to be lit.
The ghosts, I will warm them, until Ember looked to the ghost for answers. This is the hollow marsh. Here hope was. You must not lose hope. Or you'd. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. To the southwest, at the wallow edge, a forlorn rests by the foot of a slide. The stranger knew they had to move on. The path behind was forever closed. They knew they had no choice, and yet they hesitated. They tried so hard to see it all. To leave now seemed unbearable.
The stranger stared past Ember. I'm almost ready. Let me sit a little longer. I will catch up, I promise. Pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what? Ember shuffled nervously. Other embers fed me treats, but then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Fruity, fresh, but tastes a lot like mud. But what I want is something with more crunch. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Surprising, a little sparky. But what I want is something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy, embery. Not much meat, but what I want is... The pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so afraid of. The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig looked at... The pig shouted, "Join me, morsel!" The pig seemed happy, but why do I need some true nourishment, but so much cooler in this muddy pond, I can finally think. Thank you, morsel. Cheerily, the stranger remind me of one of them. Stood there, mouth open. I like you. A stone golem frozen in the lake, a relic from a forgotten time. The pot had turned cold. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Snotty piggy, simple piggy, so easily teased with fruit. They are no help until they are fed. A few grow fat, wobbling on their trotters. The stranger couldn't take on more.
The time to grow had passed. They settled into the soft moss and waited. The strangers stretched their limbs. Perhaps it is not too late after all. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. Hands encircled around the evening fire, merry lanthorn tunes, singing out the promises of old. Will home be as we remember? pig was joyous. What is this, Marsh? My insides feel as refreshed. I did not dream so. We will plant a compliments to the chef. The pot had turned cold. The fire had died. Nothing the cook made felt good enough. Endlessly stirring the same tasteless pot. Couldn't focus, sleepwalking through the days. Aimed inwards was a swirl of thoughts. In the eye of the storm, a fragile flicker. They wanted to serve something perfect. The praise of others was hollow. The cook felt numb and hurt all at once. The cook spoke softly. I must have lost myself for a moment. It's supposed to be my new soup recipe, but it's not ready. It's not done. A wonderful smell wafted towards Ember. You look starving, poor thing. Have a little taste. It was the most beautiful I know. Ember wished the cook would believe them. Oh, I used to love this, but it feels like nothing has flavor. I'm stuck. Oh, I'd forgotten how good but it's not ready. The cook stirred their soup, looking at Ember, looking at soon, maybe. If you know what you want, but I really need something from the orchard could have worked, if it was still standing. Oh, the cook struggled to hold. Pigs have gotten in me, planted every sapling, all me hard work. Take the key and have a look yourself. I can't bear to. See if anything is left, but I promise you, there won't be. The orchard gate was locked and needed a key. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it.
The cook was right. The pigs had destroyed everything. Ember found a scrap of journal. The lanthorn wards off ghosts and fear. It shapes the world as we wish it. I urge my companion to rest, but still they stare into the fire. The stranger couldn't face themselves. It just hurts to be outshone. Easier just to turn aside.
The stranger searched Ember's face. Is there hope for me, do you think? Will I make it?
Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy. The frog seemed nervous, but also relieved to see Ember. They told Ember that the birds had let all the pigs and that the pigs had eaten everything, all whilst the birds watched and laughed, except one precious thing, the frog. The frog offered the lotus seeds to Ember. They pleaded for Ember, as the frog knew how important good ingredients were in hard times. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Our feet are weary, the hours long. There will be much to do when we arrive. I tell my companion of those waiting at home.
The stranger closed their eyes and let the fog overwhelm them. Soft, gentle fog, it held them like a vice. The mist could not be pushed, would not be fanned away. The stranger spoke. The fog didn't choose me, it just was. I hope it never closes on you, friend.
Inside was a secret diary entry. The satchel is almost bare, our supplies exhausted. The taste of a good meal is not easily forgotten, but it slipped my mind to thank the cook. Back so soon? I can't believe I've never cooked with loaded. Ember felt happy seeing what a lovely surprise. Please try some. Help yourself. Be well, little one. And do remember me if you are ever hungry. The pig was joyous. My insides feel as refreshed as my out. I did not dream so. We will plant a garden of compliments to the chef.
stranger was afraid. They couldn't see what lay ahead. Ember saw their own fear reflected in the stranger. Little Ember spoke hesitantly. How do you continue, never knowing if we'll reach the end? A lost message was inside. Our music crafts our path, bridging over any we pass. My companion's hand clutches mine. We dart like fireflies through the swamp. The ghost said, "You have done all you can. You have done well. I will clear the path ahead for you."
You have seen another watch. They know the secrets of this place. Seek them out. Well now, we've been looking... Oh, fun! Hope you have a good excuse.
Ember's heart sank.
Ember told the birds about all they had seen and save your made-up stories. Oh yes, yes, tell the lies to the king. Ember felt nervous standing before the king. Frustrated. You must rest now. You give fault, try and fail and hurt. Ember could feel the Forest King looking right. This end. Why not stop? You must stay. No last chance. Make sure gates are locked. Let no more in. Let Ember took the key. What choice did they have? Yeah, they don't betray the